Hello everyone and welcome back to MTU Esports. Today we do not have a scheduled match as the Call of Duty team is on a bye week. So we're just going to spend tonight's stream going over all of our team's records, their playoff schedules, things like that. As the regular season starts to wrap up, I'm Jake, I go by Scrimpy, and today I'm joined by...
David.
All right. And we're going to start with the Rocket League team. Oh. Apologies, everybody. But... we are going to start with our coverage of the Rocket League team. So the Rocket League team is off to a fantastic start. They are sitting currently with a 6-1 record in their 10-team conference. They're off to, frankly, an incredible start here. They're currently tied for the 2 seed with the Rochester Institute of Technology. Both of those teams have only taken a loss to the current 1 seed, Seton Hall, who looks like they're going to run away and finish undefeated in the regular season to lock up the 1 seed. The Huskies and Tigers have not played each other yet. So that is going to be the game that almost certainly decides the 2 seed in our conference going into the conference championship. They'll still play each other in the playoffs before they face 1 seed Seton Hall. So it doesn't change playoff seeding a ton. It's just who's going to go in as the 2 seed, who's going to go in as the 3 seed. So that's the next game that Huskies Rocket League plays because they actually also have a bye week on Monday. So on October 28th, when you see them next, probably the biggest game of the season for them so far as their regular season starts to wrap up. So really exciting stuff there for the Huskies Rocket League team.
For sure.
All right. And then before we go any further, if you need to be close to campus next year, we've got the places for that. Find the perfect location, live where you want to live. Go check out houghtonforrent.com if you're looking for a place next year. Thanks to Bradway Enterprises for sponsoring tonight's stream. But David, I think you have some stuff to talk about for the Smash team.
Yeah, so Smash Ultimate, the regular season is already over. The Huskies finished with an impressive 4-1 record, losing their only set in 3 games against DePaul, their conference 1 seed. And then the Huskies are in sole possession of their number 2 seed, and they will face the University of Texas, Texas Tyler, in the conference championship play-in game in a few weeks. So yeah, they're doing pretty good as they're 4-1. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the Husky Smash team has been awesome for years now. They made an appearance at some national events last year. They won the GLIAC championship in Smash last season. So always a really impressive roster, and they're keeping that streak going. They got seeded against a really tough opponent in their conference against DePaul. They are one of the premier programs in the country. So no shame in especially going to Game 3 against them. A really solid performance. And hopefully, as long as the Huskies are able to beat UT Tyler again, they'll have a rematch in the conference championship game, bit higher stakes than that one.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that shakes out as the Huskies try to lock up a national playoff spot. But you want to go on and tell us about some Valorant stuff?
Yeah, so Valorant's been doing pretty good. With 2 weeks to go in the Val season, the Huskies Valorant team currently sits at a 2-3 record. After starting their season with a forfeit win, they dropped 3 in a row, unfortunately, but then they got another forfeit win against Toledo this week. They have 2 winnable games in front of them with this season facing RIT and Rowan. But the Valorant team has definitely been very improving upon their games, and I think they have a chance to get these 2 and go to playoffs. You can talk about playoffs.
Yeah, so there is only one route in to the top 3 teams for the conference now for Michigan Tech. It requires them winning both their games. They have to beat both RIT and Rowan in their final 2 regular season matches to even have a chance. And then Tiffin University, who was the forfeit win the Huskies got in week 1 of the regular season, needs to lose at least one of their games. If that happens, then they'll have the same overall record. And since Michigan Tech has the forfeit win, they'd have the tiebreaker against Tiffin, which means that they would sneak in instead of Tiffin into that 3-seed spot. But it just means all to play for. You can't really drop any matches from here, so it's just play your heart out and do what you can to win.
Yeah, it's definitely just live or die at this point.
Mm-hmm. But then I believe we do have another message from one of our partners here before we continue any further.
Yeah, from University Images. University Images is your official headquarters for authentic Michigan Tech Huskies apparel. University owned, university operated, University Images, located in the SDC, or go to bookstore.mtu.edu, where you can get wonderful jerseys like we are wearing.
Yeah, they do carry the new Michigan Tech Esports jerseys, so if you want to see how stylish some of the players are looking while they're playing our games, go ahead and check it out. They are available for purchase. Thank you to University Images for sponsoring the stream. But then going into the second to last game we're going to be covering today, probably the most interesting one, at least as far as playoff seeding implications go, right now is Overwatch.
Yeah, so the Overwatch team is currently 4-1 and are currently the 3 seed, sitting behind 1 seed Cumberland and RIT, who beat MTU and have the tiebreaker. MTU ends the season with games against Stony Brook and Cumberland.
Yeah. So the Huskies right now sitting in the obviously in the upper half of their conference, but still can really wind up pretty much anywhere from being in sole possession of the 1 seed to being completely eliminated based on how the rest of the season shakes out. A lot of things need to go right for the Huskies to lock up the 1 seed at this point because they've dropped a game to RIT. The Huskies need to win both games, and RIT needs to lose at least one of their next 2. If that happens, then the Huskies and Cumberland will be tied for the best overall record, but since MTU plays Cumberland, if they win that game, they'll have the tiebreaker on Cumberland and take the 1 seed. If the Huskies win out and RIT wins out, then there's a 3-way tie for the 1 seed, in which case we need to start getting into specialized tiebreakers to see who gets a bye and goes straight to the conference championship game. If the Huskies beat Stony Brook but lose to Cumberland, then RIT loses out, they lock up the 2 seed. So a nice performance there, and then that would give Cumberland sole possession of the 1 seed, RIT in the 3. If the Huskies just beat Stony Brook in their next match, they are guaranteed at least the 3 seed, so they will be guaranteed a playoff spot there. However, if the Huskies lose out and Eastern Michigan wins out, then Eastern can creep up and take the 3 seed, and the Huskies will get knocked out of the tournament. So a lot needs to go right to lock up the 1 seed, but a lot needs to go wrong to fall completely out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
So a pretty favorable spot there for Huskies Overwatch. And then to wrap up our coverage, we have the Call of Duty team, who unfortunately is off to a pretty rough start this year. They're currently sitting at a 1-4 record. Their forfeit win against San Jose State is the win in their column. They have 3 games to go in the regular season. They're against Clark University, Cal State Dominguez Hills, and Cumberland. Those will be the final 3 games of their season, as they are mathematically eliminated from playoff contention. But there's still a lot to like about what we've seen from the Huskies Call of Duty team this season.
For sure.
Quite frankly, insane conference they got placed in. There weren't a ton of teams in Playfly Call of Duty this year, so just basically all of the heavy hitters are all thrown into one conference. Some of the best COD teams really in the country. So the Huskies have been going out there and they've been fighting, and we've seen them get progressively better against premier opponents every single week. Especially last week, we saw a really hotly contested control points game that, you know, they were facing, I believe it was Fisher, and just every single game, really close result over and over and over again, going down to the final few seconds. So while the win-loss record does not look great right now, they are getting significantly better. And really, Clark and Cal State Dominguez Hills are the 2 other lower teams currently in win-loss in the conference. The Huskies had a really front-loaded schedule. So there are 2 games where the Huskies can make some noise and hopefully pick up another win or 2. Or they could just win out, but Cumberland being the 1 seed obviously is going to be putting in quite a fight to wrap up the season and try to keep their playoff spot. But that is everything that we have as far as team coverage goes. I guess, are there any other comments you want to make about the Call of Duty team or anything else that we've talked about tonight?
No, every team in general has been doing a great job at not only just winning, but just showing our team spirit and being great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun to watch these guys and see how they improve and just follow along. It's just been a great journey.
All right, well, looking ahead to next week's stream schedule, next Monday there are still no games because the Rocket League team has a bye week due to a forfeit win from a team that dropped out, and the Smash regular season's already over, so on Monday we are going to have no stream matches again. On Tuesday, the Valorant team will be back, though, after a forfeit win against Toledo. They're going to be taking on the Rochester Institute of Technology at 7 o'clock. Like we mentioned earlier, that is a must-win game if the Huskies want to stay in playoff contention. On Wednesday at 7, the Overwatch team will face Stony Brook, another really important win for them. If they win, they are guaranteed a playoff spot. And then next Thursday at 8:30, the COD team will face off against Clark University in a match where they're hoping to pick up their 2nd win of the year. But that is going to be everything for us tonight at MTU Esports. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you to our partners for sponsoring tonight's broadcast. Hopefully you're all enjoying your long weekend. Go out there and see the fall colors. I know it's getting beautiful out there, and seems like the weather's going to be really nice this weekend too. So go outside, go see some pretty colors, and enjoy your long weekend. Thank you all so much. I've been Scrimby.
I've been David.
Thank you so much. We'll see you next week. Go Huskies.